Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Belinda here from Visualized NZ. And if you've been watching me lately, you will recognise what's on my desk. It's the Cowgirls and Lace journal that I'm working on. Oh, it's making me so happy. So I have done a little bit of work before I turned on the camera just to try and get a feel for what I wanted where, to try and get more done during the video than what I might otherwise do. So first up, I've got that denim pocket inside the front cover. So this is a piece from the kit, piece of ephemera. It's an envelope. The name of the kit is the Huge Horse Lovers kit, and it's available from the Junk Journal Studio on Etsy. I will link her shop in the description box below. I'm having such a great time working with this kit. It is truly wonderful. But I am going to have a lot of ephemera left over, I think. At this stage, when I'm sort of well on the way with this journal, I'm getting a feeling that I'm not going to be using all the ephemera. So what I thought was I would make up this wee envelope. Please excuse a little bit of frogginess. And I will pop in some of the unused ephemera. So some of the printable bits and pieces, I will pop in the envelope at the beginning of the journal. So whoever gets the journal will have a few pieces to play with. I thought that might be a nice idea, and it is an idea I got from Gail Agostinelli, that she often includes leftover ephemera in her journals. So thank you, Gail, for that idea, and I thought it was rather lovely, because if I make something else with this kit, which I well believe that I will, I'll just reprint the whole thing again and fussy cut the whole thing out. So I'm just going to double check that it fits in our pocket here. So yep, fits beautifully. So I will be limited to what fits inside the envelope in terms of what ephemera I include or what's left over. But I thought that would be a nice idea. So I'm just trying to decide which way round I want these. I think it's quite nice to have them on the outside, a little extra detail. So I'm just going to glue these closed. And then pop it in the front there. And then when I've finished up, I'll load it with some bits and pieces left over from the kit. So a little added bonus for whoever ends up with this journal. Oops, don't really want glue at the top there. Just make sure I didn't end up sticking that top bit down. So yes, I need to go about there, no further than where my finger is with the glue. Here we go, easy peasy. Can't get easier than that for making an envelope, can it? And I might decorate up the back or something, but at the moment I'm just going to leave it as is and pop it down in that pocket. And depending how fat I make that when I stuff it, then quite possibly is more room for something else as well in the pocket. Right, so I'm just going to try and go in order so that I don't skip to the bits I want to do and leave the bits that, not that I don't want to do them, but I'm less inspired by at the time. But I'm certainly inspired by this beautiful art print. I can't remember the name of the artist. Begins with J. The signature's there, but it's an artist signature. It's not legible, I guess, unless you know exactly what it is. And I really want to turn this into a journal card. So I'm going to turn this into a journal card for that envelope pocket. So first up, I'm going to trim it down. And I'm going to keep this fairly simple, I think. I don't want to mess with this beautiful image. I think it's got enough detail going on. Maybe a label or a number or something at the very most. But not sure, because I think it is truly beautiful. And like, why mess with beautiful? Really, really yummy, yummy image. So whoever ends up with the journal, I hope you really love this image because it's very hard to let go of. I want to hoard it. But it also needs to see the light of day where it can be enjoyed by whoever, whether that's me or somebody else. I mean, isn't that just so yummy? I mean, if you're not a horse person, you probably don't think it's so yummy, but I think it's yummy with all this like text and drawing of a Greek column, I think, a Greek column, and a bit of Greek decoration and a little thingy something, another bit of scripty up here, and then just it's beautifully distressed as well. And we've got some Egyptian stuff on the other side. So let's go ahead and back it. It's reasonably thin. So I am going to back it with this 120 GSM brown paper. Just give it a bit more heft. Take a piece of that. I do so love this paper. It's so yummy. And every time I go into the shop that sells it locally, I check to make sure they've still got it. And last time I went, they were out. And I was like, oh, hope they get it again. But they have been out before and they've got it again. So hopefully I haven't missed the boat on it, because the other craft paper that they sell is just your normal craft paper. And it's actually a lot dearer, which is, I think, kind of bizarre, because this is heavier than the standard craft paper. But maybe there's more sheets in the other pad or something. I haven't really done the fine-tuned look of what the difference is. But yeah, I just love this brown paper. But I couldn't justify buying more than one pad at once because, you know, money only goes so far and I don't have very much of it. So I just bought the one and I love using it, and sometimes I don't use it because I don't want to use it up. And I do that with a lot of my craft supplies, which is really dumb. You buy it to use it, don't you? Well, that's the theory. You buy it to use it. I know there's plenty of crafters out there who have trouble using it once they've purchased it. And I'm one of them, but I'm working on it. I'm working on being better about using things. So I went to a book sale at the weekend. I think I've talked about it in a previous video. I had a very small budget, went over my budget, and hubby came to my rescue. Lovely man that he is. And so I came out with some great books, which makes me super happy. And I'm hoping, because I know one of the organisers of the sale, I gave her a whole bunch of books towards the sale that I was destashing. I'm hoping that she'll call me up now the sale's over and do the same thing as she did with the last sale and offer me to come and look through the books that they're just going to get rid of that aren't suitable, you know, unlikely to sell. They keep the good ones and put them to the next sale, but the ones that they don't think will sell, last time she got me round and I could go through and pick through what I wanted. I'm hoping she'll do the same thing. But if she doesn't, it's good. Like, that's perfectly fine. I'm not going to ask. I'm just going to leave it. I want to round the corners, but I don't want to do it too soon. And because the glue's still wet. But I'm just going to go for it and hope for the best. Yep. It's a little bit chewy on the corner rounder, but not too bad. Yeah, so what else have I been up to? Oh, at the moment, my husband thinks it's because we've got apples that are ripe on the tree, but I'm not sure that that's the case, that's the reason, because they're not hanging around the tree. But we've got so many white butterflies in our backyard. Every time I look out, I've counted 9 at one time, but it's really hard to count them because, you know, they're just flitting around all over the place. But they seem to be spending most of the time on the dandelions. So I don't think it's the apple tree that's necessarily attracting them, because most of them I've seen either in the greenery of other plants or on the dandelions. But it's beautiful. I've never had much regard for white butterflies because they're generally considered a pest. You know, they lay eggs on vegetables that are growing in the garden, that sort of thing. But when you see so many of them out in your backyard and everything's green and lush and they're just dancing, like 2 or 3, and they're probably mating, but you know, they're just dancing around and floating. Oh, it's so pretty. So this morning I went out to try and photograph one on a dandelion flower, but as soon as you get within a few steps, they fly up and away and they don't come back until you leave. So that was pretty useless, really. I was very disappointed. If I got my proper camera out with the zoom lens on, I might have a show, but then I'm not so great at holding with the zoom lens on because it's quite heavy. And I don't even know where the tripod is at the moment. Right, I'm just trying to not get crumbs all over the journal because this is being a bit crummy. It's so crummy. Yeah, so I was disappointed I couldn't get a nice photo for it to pop in my journal as a memory of the day, or of the time even, of the season, because I've never seen so many dancing out in the backyard all at once, and it's happened a few days now where I've seen that, and so pretty. Right, so that's a wee journal card that's going to tuck into this envelope here, like so. So the envelope slopes a little at the spine, so I'm just going to push it down and it will curve a little bit, so over time it will come out and it will have a slight curve in it. Just flatten it out and then shove it back in. Good as gold. Now I don't think I want to add anything else to this bit. I think it's great writing space. It has got a decoration, so I think that's all good. This page is all good. We did that a couple of videos ago, I think. Right, so this is the next thing. I've got this envelope that tips out, and I picked out this piece of ephemera from the kit. Pretty sure it's from the same kit, not from the other kit that I've printed off, and it fits in here really nicely. So again, this the other bit was on presentation paper. This is on normal copy paper, so it's very light. Or in fact, the other bit wasn't. It was on book page, so don't know what I'm talking about. So I'm going to go ahead and back this. Won't fit that way. Don't think it matters where I put it. Trying to maximize the use of the brown paper. So I'm going to back this as well. Make it nice and sturdy for going in and out of the pocket. And I haven't thought about whether I'm going to add anything to this or not. It's a pretty cool little piece. I don't think it necessarily needs anything, but we'll get it down, cut it out, and then we'll have a little look and see if we want to pretty it up a little bit or do anything with it. Actually, a bit of lace down the side might be something we could do. Any excuse for a bit of lace. I just don't know whether we've got the room in that pocket for it or not. So we'll have a look, see at that. Try and line it up on the edges best I can. So I want to thank those who have been letting me know that you're enjoying this journal. Like, I'm having so much fun, but it makes me super happy to know that you guys are enjoying what I'm doing as well. It just makes it very gratifying. You know, and sometimes it's not always easy. Sometimes you're too tired to video, or you know, you're not feeling the best or something, or you're feeling uninspired, and it can be hard to churn out a video every day, every weekday. And so when I get your feedback saying that you're really enjoying it, it does my heart very, very good things. It does very good things to my heart. And I just really thank you for letting me know. That's awesome. Right, ink it up first, I think. I'm going to leave the corners on the square because the corners on the piece of ephemera square. Otherwise we'd have a missing bit of black line, and I don't think that would work quite so well. I think I'm running out of ink on my sponge, but just press a bit harder. It's subtle, but it's there. I can see it. So you might not see it on camera, the difference it's making. It is making a difference, just not a very strong one. Right, do I want to add anything? Do we have room for lace? Might be a bit, because it's hinges there, it might be a bit tricky to pop lace on there, but let's have a look. Maybe a little tab instead might be a way to go. Yeah, no, we don't have room for lace along the side. We could possibly put some at the top. Let's put a little bit at the top. Oh, it didn't want to come out of the shelf. Oh, I must show you this too. This little, I don't know if it's a sew on or whether it's an iron on. I suspect it could be iron on. I didn't take too much notice, but I found this at a little store away on holiday, and it was only like $1.50 or something. And I just thought it was so adorable, a little cricket grasshopper thing, and I thought super cute. I don't know when I'll use it, but for that price, I just had to have it, so I bought it. So that was one of my holiday purchases. It was a cute little cricket. So what lace do we want? No, not that one. About this one. Have I got anything thinner? Oh, maybe this one. This is a little bit of vintage lace. It's quite thin. Whoops, getting all tangled up here. My laces. Just want a thin one so it doesn't cover too much of the writing, even though you will be able to read it. So that just covers over the word advertisement. But you can still see it. So I'm going to go with this one. Just trim off that edge that wasn't cut straight. The name J. Rands and Jekylls. It just makes me think of Jekyll and Hyde. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Which of course is English, I do believe. Right, so let's pop this down. Use my alcohol base glue for this. And then I'll have to leave it out the pocket for it to dry. Where do we want the glue? Oops, open the glue first. Good tip there. A tutorial on how to use glue. Step 1, open the lid. Here we go. There's my helpful tip for the day. I don't know how many times I've done that on video, gone to use the glue and haven't opened it. Too many times. Quite ridiculous. Right, I think Don't think there's much difference between the sides of the lace, but I think this was the right way. Here we go, we've got an advertisement with a little bit of lace on it. That actually reminds me of the old like general stores and things that they would have had in the Wild West, where they had that little frill along the top of the window. I actually think that works really well. Okay, do I want a little tab on the side as well? No, I don't have room. That's right, there's no room for it. So I'm just going to pop it up the top there so it can dry and not stick to everything. So that's all good. Better close this glue before it jams up the top. Sip of my coffee. Right, this pocket. Now this pocket, the back one is narrower than the front one. So this bit in behind is narrower. And so I needed something quite narrow, but I also wanted something tall because it needs to stick up, you know, behind this journal card here. And there's some really nice tags as part of the kit, but they were all too short, so they would have been hidden. So they fit across this way, but they would have been hidden, and I could have like set them up, not put them all the way down in the bottom, something like that. But then I had an idea. And I've got another piece out here. I can't remember what I was going to use that for, so I'm just pop it to the side for a moment. So I came up with an idea of something that might be a bit fun. I don't know if I got the idea from anywhere in particular. This is a little tall, so I'm just going to trim it down slightly, like so. And I think I need to strengthen it again. So I'm going to back it. Doesn't necessarily need to be on paper that can be written on, but I think, well, since we're backing it, I may as well do it. Have it as paper that can be written on. Just extending that writing space a little bit. It's going to be a ton load of writing space in this journal, which is what I love. I love putting lots of writing space in, not compromising writing space for the decoration. So very scratchy tip on this bottle. That's the only thing I'm not so fond of, but I think that's just me adjusting to, I'm used to scrubbing the plastic tips into the paper, and so I just need to work out a way. Oh, something's not straight there. Never mind, we'll just cut it straight. Just need to adjust the way I use it. I think it's not that there's anything wrong with the tip, it's just the way I use it I need to change so I don't have that scratchiness. And I've been using the plastic tips for years now, so it could take me a little while to adjust to the new tip. Right, now I didn't manage to glue it down straight, so let's just straighten up these. Here we go. Nothing that can't be fixed. Right, so that's made it nice and strong, or stronger than what it was. So what I thought I would do is I'd create little pockets on this background, and this is also from the same kit, and then we can pop a couple of tags in little pockets so we still get our tags. I could have made just a long tag and that would have been fine, but I thought this is just something a bit fun, and using pieces from the kit as well, which I really wanted to do. So I haven't chosen out what I want to make the pockets with. Let's have a look, see what is in the ephemera from the kit. Could use that as one. Just trim it down to fit. Just looking for things that go sideways and that we perhaps might be able to trim down without it looking a bit weird. It's a possibility. This. Oh, yes, I like that. You could pop that one down the bottom. Let's go with that. So two more pieces from the kit. So this one I am going to turn down the top a little bit to strengthen the top of it. So that's almost the right width. It's slightly wider, so we'll trim off a little bit once it's glued on. Okay, so just leave that for a moment. Now this one, we could wrap it round actually. Again, I want to turn down the top a little bit just to strengthen the top. Like so. Do we want to wrap it around? What would it look like wrapped around? Oops, I didn't choose that very well, did I? Never mind, doesn't matter if we have it off the horseshoe off to the side rather than in the middle. No, I don't want it wrapped. Okay, that's made up my mind. It's worthwhile having a look. Okay, so that's trimmed to size. Okay, now where do I want these pockets placed? So, do want to take a little notch out for a thumb notch for my poor circle punch that's lost its plastic case because it broke. Oops, that surprised me. I wasn't expecting that to actually go all the way down then, and it did. Oops, now it's stuck. Whoops, I made a mess of that one. There we go. Like I was saying, nothing that isn't fixable. Okay. Don't need the glue stick for now. Let's pop that aside. Grab our ink pad out so we can get some fresh ink on our sponge here. Probably don't need to do the sides because I'll be inking around the whole thing, but never mind. It'll just be double inked on the sides. Go in there. Need to make sure this goes down far enough. Something like that. think I'll just have the horseshoe peeking up out of that pocket. So I'll put this one on first because it's going to be underneath. Yeah, and this one. Okay, so I will need to trim this up if I remember rightly. So we'll glue it down, then we'll trim off any overhang. Gee, sometimes my brain's ahead of my tongue, so sometimes my words come out sort of run together because my brain is racing ahead. I quite often rehearse what I'm saying, not so much on camera, so more subtle on camera, but yeah, sometimes my tongue is quite behind my brain. And it gets worse when I'm tired as well. So if you think, gosh, I muddle my words all the time, well, yep, I do quite often. Oops, that was a lot of ink. Nice and dark. And because this can be written on, I'm going to ink the back as well. Oops. And actually, I don't think I need to trim the overhang. There's just a little smidge on the back. And once it's inked up, can't even really tell. So that's all good. Get rid of the crumbs again. Okay, so these also need backing. Now, I probably haven't got enough for both here. I definitely don't have enough for both here, but we can get one out of it. So I'm just going to trim off these side bits so they don't get in my way. Yep, plenty of room for that one. I'm using 2 different glues here, just because I find it less messy. And also, if the glue stick should ever fail, the tacky glue is not going to. So it's never going to come apart. There might be little gaps at the sides where the glue hasn't gone right to the edge, but apart from that, it's going to stay together as long as you want it to stay together, and probably longer. Right, that's that one. Now something else for this one. We want different paper maybe, just to mix it up. Got a bit of leftover grocery bag here. Is it? Can we get something out of that? There's a bit of double layer here, which is making it quite thick over there. I think we can manage to squeeze it in between the bits that we don't want, like that. Yep, I think we can do it. And this one's got a hole to be punched out, so I might go ahead and punch that out too, once the glue is dry. maybe we'll put a bit of tulle or something in there. Actually, a bit of baker's twine would be nice, but I'm not sure. I don't know if I've actually got any baker's twine. It's not something I buy, but I have a feeling I was given some somewhere along the way, but I don't know where it will be. So we might have to default to the tulle or a bit of lace maybe. That's the other option. Get a bit of more lace in the Cowgirls and Lace journal. So this grocery bag paper is very thick, so it's going to make a nice strong backing for the card. Right, cut this one out first because it should be a bit drier. So won't put a hole in this one because it would be right through her head. And I don't think we need to be doing that. In fact, this one's taller. I might put this in the bottom pocket rather than the top pocket. Not sure. We'll have a play. So that's that one. I'll ink it up as well. So I'm filming this ahead. It's going to be on Wednesday, the day that it's going to go live, because I'm going to be away at my digital marketing course on Wednesday. And I'm actually very excited because as part of that course I am actually rebranding, which sounds very sort of highfalutin and technical and professional, and that's not it at all. Just my brand as it is not really super functional, and it was just, I didn't know what I was doing, and I came up with something that I liked, and it kind of, yeah. So I'm just starting afresh and building up, you know, all the colors, the logo. I've designed a new logo, and I'm working on a website, and so it's all taking quite a bit of time, so I don't know when it's going to be ready, but I am working on it as part of that branding course. So that's, you know, that's fun and stressful. It's a bit of both, because it's territory I'm, you know, struggling a bit with, but that's good. That's learning, it's growth. So do I want them that way round or this way? I think originally I wanted them this way so that she poked up above, but anyway, I need to ink them. I think they do fit better around this way. It's just the height on in the pocket that I'm worried about. So I'll try them the way I prefer them. And then if they don't fit, then I'll just switch them around. We need to punch that one, don't we? Let's put a hole in it. Perfect size. Ink this one. Cover up the white that I've managed to leave around the border. Right, so I've still got to put something in that hole, but let's try it for size. Oh, look at that. No, we can leave it like that because it still fits within the page. So we've got this piece of ephemera that pulls out, that we've got writing space here. We've got writing space here. You could actually even write on the back if you wanted to. And then we've got writing space on the back. So I think that works really well. Let's pull out lace again or tulle. I've got this lace that I rejected earlier. We could, this is another bit of vintage lace. I think that's pretty. Let's go with that. And I want to just tie it in a, is that going to be too thick? Oh, that's kind of pretty though. Oh, that's pretty. I like it just tied very simply like that. Nice. Okay, and then that tucks in the pocket there, and we've got the lace sticking up behind, so that's pretty cool too. So I still haven't decided what to do about this little white edge where it misprinted, but I can easily just fix that up once I've decided which direction, whether it's washi tape or a decorative strip of some sort. Easy enough to fix. How are we going on time, guys? Oh, we're not doing too bad. Right, our next, so we've got this little double pocket that wraps around the page here, and I've chosen out some bits from the kit to turn into little cards, little journal cards. Again, they need backing. I think I'm just going to stick with this brown paper because it really goes with the journal as well, with the colours in the journal. So, oops. So maybe I'll grab out all the pieces for both sides and get them all stuck down while I'm at it, and then I can cut them all out and ink them all up, and it will be like a little mini mess make. I'm just looking at the end of my glue. It's, the nozzle's got little crusty bits on it, and that was distracting me. I was like, I need to get rid of those. Right, I'll do the other small one as well. This is a beautiful old photo. Well, they're both beautiful old photos actually. Not the real photo, of course, just the replicas on the that are included in the kit. It's like you get lots of stuff in this kit, people. Lots to play with. Lots of beautiful elements. Card, there it is. And because I'm out Wednesday, it also means I need to film ahead for Thursday, because normally I'd film Thursday's video on Wednesday. And I do 2 videos for Thursday. I do my normal video, and then I do one for Patreon. And so I'll need to film those, I guess, tomorrow. Tomorrow being Tuesday. This is a Monday. So this is my second video today. I've already done my video for tomorrow. So this is for Wednesday. And then, yeah, tomorrow I think I'll get the 2 videos done for Thursday. And then I also am out all day Friday. So I need to get a video done for Friday, which I guess I will do on Thursday. Gosh, it's quite a schedule to keep track of. Right, last one here. This cool, fun cowgirl image. I think that's super cute. She's a bit like a pin-up, but a very seemly, not unseemly, just very cute. So I'm trying to include more of the cowgirls, ephemera with cowgirls on, like this piece and this piece I'm gluing now, so that they're nicely represented in the journal to go with the theme of cowgirls and lace. Because I was a bit light on the cowgirl aspect, I hadn't really been concentrating on that, so nice to make sure that these pieces get in there to reinforce the theme. Whoops, smushing glue out. Right, let's cut those out. This one's got a slightly shaped edge from the wrinkles around the old photo. So I'm just going to kind of loosely do that. Not perfect, but just a little slight wave in places. And the distress ink will take care of the bits that I didn't do so well. Slight rounded corner there. And again at the bottom. It's quite nice how some of those old photos have the decorative edges on them. I remember some in my mum's photo box like that. Just a little bit where I didn't glue it straight. I think I might add something to this one. It's just got this blank space up in the corner, so I think I'll further decorate this one. And this one's quite nice as is, I think. It's got the stamp there, the carte postale text, a little postmark down here, and some script in the background, so I think that's got enough going on. It's very decorative as is. Right, almost done with the cutting, guys. Okay, so let's start with the ones that we're going to leave as is. So this one I'll leave as it is, apart from the distressing around the edge. That's going to go in there, which I love. And I think, which one did I have? I think I had this one on this side. Not that it matters too much, but I just think the colours all go together with this one. Okay, I think I'm just going to leave that as is as well. There we go, that's one side done. So this one I think I'm just going to leave as is as well, because it's a cool old photo. Tucks in there. Beautiful. Okay. So now just looking at decorating up this one. So I'll start by distressing it. Oh, forever wiping off the crumbs. Okay. So is there anything in the ephemera that we would like to add? So I'll start with this first. And then if we don't find what we like, too big, too big, too big, too big. That could be kind of cute. Canter. Horse. They're a possibility. We could put a little, no, that would be over top of her head, so no, reject that. Put away the things that I don't know, not that. A little label, but it's too big for that gap. It's going to be too big, too big, too big. Here's a nice wee number, or that one. Not that. These are all too big. Circle. No, I think the blue just doesn't add anything in this particular case. Well, that's kind of nice too. This is one, for some reason I cut around the words as opposed to the border. I'm not sure why I did that, but it actually is quite useful. I like that down there. I like the canter. Okay, I think I've made my decision-ish. So not that one. I think between this one and this one. Okay, I'm going to commit to the canter. Get that down so it's not running around the place, going off on a canter, if you will, all on its lonesome. Oops, get it straight. There we go. Okay, so this one or this one, and I am thinking a little bit of book page in behind it. just kind of like a corner piece. Oops, a little bit deep, I think. Kensington Gardens right at the top of that bit of book page, which is very English, and this theme is a West American West, but I find that sort of quite funny. There's this little mention of Kensington Gardens in the top there. Just a tiny, small little detail that's just quite accidental. Go. I don't know what 25*3 means, but there we go. Doesn't matter, does it? Just a cute little fun detail. Okay, and that's going to pop in there. Super cute. So the other side. Yep, happy. How are we going for time? Oh, we've run out of time. Okay, well that's it for today. I'm sorry guys. We did get quite a bit done. A little bit to go, but I'm thinking we may be able to smash it out in one more video. Yeah, we are getting there. Oh, and this just makes me so happy. So, oh, hang on, we'll just pop this away in the little envelope here. There we go, tucked away in home. All done. Right, so I think one more video might have it done, if not two. So we'll see how we go. Thanks so much for coming along on this journey with me, making this video so far. And continue to give feedback if you are so inclined, because it really does make my day. Yeah, I shall see you in the next video. Take care everybody and have a simply wonderful week. Okay, bye.